Maybe just for a day, Atlanta could have changed its name to the Bloodhounds. The Falcons were very interested in picking up the scent of the playoff trail again. Today's opponent, the New Orleans Saints, certainly not the roughest team in football, but still an obstacle Atlanta needed to get past before they could look to the second season. To the Georgia Dome, former Saint Ironhead Hayward wouldn't mind beating his old team, as would Morton Anderson. Here's your MVP of the game. In a shaky start for the offense, Anderson was solid. This one from 55 out. It's now 6-0 Atlanta. Hey, man, do it again. This again from way out. That one puts the Birds up by 9 at half. The Falcon almost picks that one off, and Morton comes off victorious. Could it be that the Falcons could have a solid game all the way through? Maybe. In the third, Craig Hayward employed in the shoot part of the run and shoot, 25 yards, and he's in close. A seemingly weak response from the Atlanta fans. That would set up Hayward for a TD reception, 5 yards, and he's in for the score. It's 16-0 Atlanta. That's Craig's first touchdown reception of the year. But Jim Everett and the Saints would score 14 unanswered points. This 5-yard strike to tight end Irv Smith would make it 16-14. June Jones just getting a little bit nervous, but here's the man again. Morton Anderson from 55 yards out. He's the first kicker ever to make 3 trikas from 50 yards out. Plus, Falcons finding a way to win. 19-14 is your final in Atlanta. From a climate-controlled dome to the chill of the vet, Ricky Waters braving the elements. The Cowboys looking pretty good early. That's Emmett taking the handoff and around the left side. 10 yards, one man to beat, and he takes him into the end zone. And it's 10-3 Dallas. The Unabomber taking in a game in Philadelphia. Eagles quarterback Rodney Peete looking for the quick out. That's not his intended receiver, Larry Brown. Nobody's going to catch this guy. 65 yards down the near sideline. It's another quick 6 for the boys. It's 17-3 towards the end of the first half. Then, something for Dallas to get a little hot-headed about. In the second half, Rodney Peete redeems himself. A crucial drive for the Eagles. Peete can't find a receiver, so he takes off on his own for the first down. The scramble leads to a goal line situation. Ricky Waters punches it in from 1 foot outside the plane of the goal line with a 2-point conversion. We've got ourselves a football game. And here's the cold shower they took during halftime. Water glasses frozen in Philly. The Eagle D is fired up. They stuffed Emmett on 4th and 1 in the final stages of the game. Look familiar, Falcons fans? The Philadelphia chapter of the Polar Bear Club living it up at the vet. Here's the Cowboy killer, though. Gary Anderson from 42 out. Your final is 20-17 in Philadelphia. The Cowboys 10-4. The Eagles now 10-5. In Clemson, South Carolina, the Killer Kitties met their match today. The 49ers are trying to avoid the sweep by Carolina. Steve Young is back, and Jerry Rice never left. There, the big reception takes the Niners just inside the 5. Derek LaVille on the swing pass. It's San Fran's first touchdown of the day, 7-0 in the first. Carolina driving, but they just can't get it done. Kerry Collins throws this one away to Tim McDonald. He rambles all the way to the 33-yard line with the tackle there. It's Kerry Collins. More highlight material coming up from Jerry Rice. Young spots him on the far side of the field. The acrobatic catch would set up yet another touchdown to make it 14-3. And just in case San Francisco needed any insurance, Steve Young coming up with the pump fake. Rice is covered. J.J. Stokes isn't. It's a disappointment for the sold-out crowd of 76,000 plus, but a reality check perhaps. San Francisco wins its 10th of the season. It's the 13th year in a row they've done that. Detroit handles Houston. Wayne Font's coaching position becomes more and more secure. Chicago upset by the Bengals in the Queen City, and Indy continues the roll. They take the Jags in Northeast Florida.
So a big game for the 49ers, because I guess if the season ended right now, they've got home field advantage.
Yes, they do, and Dallas doesn't as a result of a kind of a bummer for them. I mean, really a bad loss for them up in Philadelphia.
Be interesting to see if Jerry Jones and Barry Switzer have a little conversation.
They'll have a little chat. I'm sure they will. Game film's coming up.
Thank you very much. What's that old saying? You can take the boy out of Arkansas, but you can't take Arkansas out of the boy?
That's correct. The big guy, the first fan, was in Fayetteville today checking out his
hogs.
Yeah, his hogs. He didn't have such a great day today. He might as well have stayed in Washington and taken the abuse that he could have gotten from Newt and company.
From the Republicans.
Yeah,
right?
It's college basketball season now, and even though the conference schedules don't start until January, whoever made out the dance cards ought to get a raise. There were some good ones today and more good ones tonight. The fans of the Hardwood are coming out of hiding, and even the chief executive came out of Washington to take in a game. We start our whirlwind tour of the college game in Fayetteville. And there he is, the president of the Plaza lever. No front row for him today. Republican was working the ticket window. Something to smile about early, though. Jesse Pate from way downtown, and we're tied at 14. Wonder if that Newt guy plays ball. He could take him. Clinton's 6'2". He's got a 32-inch vertical. Bearcats coming back. Look out. Jackson Jolson with the jam. Still in the first. Cats by 4. Watch for him later. Hogs down by 10. Pate from behind the arc. The fadeaway goes. But that's about it for Arkansas. Nolan Robinson, that's foreshadowing. That Jackson guy is back in the second. The two-handed wham puts the Cats up by 9. Cincinnati Slam Fest would continue. Art Long with the bound and the bash. Jackson Jolson once again, this time on the D. The stuff on Lee Wilson. He wins accolades from our announcer. You can hear him in the background. Bearcats hammer Arkansas 82-67. In college football, Vols fans all over the state are standing around scratching their heads, wondering why the Sports Writers of America felt the need to knot them up in the poll with Ohio State. Even though the Buckeyes were taken care of handily by the Michigan Wolverines in Ann Arbor over Thanksgiving weekend, Tennessee and Ohio State are tied for 4th in this week's poll. And here's a look at the final poll of the year. The Cornhuskers are still considered the top team in the nation. Florida, however, coming off an impressive performance in Atlanta last night. They hammered Arkansas 34-3 for the SEC title. Northwestern stays at 3rd in the poll. But here's where the confusion goes. Ohio State gets the same number of votes as the Vols in an act of charity by those aforementioned sports writers. Perhaps it's a publicity stunt to increase the performance of the Citrus Bowl. Switch. Notre Dame, even with 2 losses, is still in the top 10. The Buffaloes are in at 7. The Seminoles are ranked 8. Texas holds their line after taking care of A&M in the College Station. K-State has been sitting at number 10 for some time. So,
bowl picture now crystal clear.
Yeah, well, they're going to Orlando. The Vols are. They're
And
going
I
on
guess
to play Ohio State.
And today on News 12 at 5:30, we learn the rest of the bowl picture.
A whole slew of bowl pictures that have, like you said, come crystal clear. We'll have highlights, and we'll have all of those matchups tonight at 11 o'clock.
Look forward to it. Thank you very much, Pat.